Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics to get more people playing your indie game. You are listening to the Indie Game Marketing School with your instructors, Daniel Doan and Tony Chan.
For this episode, we're going to talk about how often you should be checking if your marketing campaign is working or not. So, Daniel, how will we know if it's working or not?
All right.
And how often should we check it?
Gotcha. So, essentially, what you want to be doing is you don't want to be psyching yourself out when it comes to marketing. Because personally, back when I first started, I was like, I have like 2 followers. I have basically nothing. And, the people that I looked up to at the time, they had like 10,000 followers. They had 50,000 followers. They had hundreds of thousands of followers. And I was like, kind of paralyzed because I was like, wow, like, how am I ever going to get that? But like what I realized was honestly, like, it's not about competing with others. It's about using others as a benchmark to tell yourself that, hey, like, this is possible, right? And so basically you want to, just like set like short-term goals and long-term goals. So like a couple years ago, I knew going in that I wanted to, build like a large fan base for me and my games, right? But I didn't really, approach it like, oh, well, I have to get like, 500,000 downloads, I kind of approached it as, hey, well, it would be nice if I, got 500,000 downloads someday. But for now, I just want to, track my progress and make sure that I'm growing, day after day, week after week, month after month. So what I did was I set up like a Excel spreadsheet and I basically measured, traffic, impressions, conversions, and I benchmarked myself, every week. So, so week after week, I would check up on my progress and I would, try to figure out if I actually made progress towards my monthly goals or not. So for example, if my monthly goal is, get 100 downloads, I would check in week after week and be like, so how many, downloads did I get this week, from what channels? So like, which channels are working best? Which channels are performing poorly? Which channels should I cut from my marketing campaign? Which channels should I double down on? And yeah, so it's all about, trying to figure out if you can reach your short-term goals, and just like check it up on your metrics, on your analytics on like a weekly basis.
Yeah, and I gotta, what Danny said is so true about, I guess, changing your perspective on the followers. And yeah, like it's a slow start when you're trying to build up an audience. And so you just gotta be extremely patient and persistent. And so, yeah, when you change your perspective on long-term goals versus short-term goals, like in the long term, of course, you want like thousands of followers, but in the short term, you need to be putting in that work to get those first few followers and, keep it growing. And only way you're going to know that is if you measure yourself every week or every day or however much you want to do it. So what do you want to tell those people, like, to get them motivated? Cause like I said earlier, it can be tough just to like, oh man, why is no one following me? Why is my game not picking up steam? Like, what do you want to tell those people that just like, they're like losing hope, I guess?
Let's see. So I would personally tell them to focus on just like a few core metrics that bring the most joy. So personally, back when Sanctuary RPG only had like a few hundred players, almost everyone who played the game, like I try to communicate with them. I try to reach out to them. And yeah, like it also, goes back to, trying to generally connect with people, and getting like their email addresses so they can like start a conversation with them. And yeah, so, once you have those like, quick wins, okay, so like, let's say that you have only 10 players, right? But you have a real relationship with 2 of those players. And, they're like giving you feedback on your game. They're telling you, hey, awesome job. They're, sharing your game with their, brother, their sister. They're true evangelists of your product. Then that makes you feel good, right? And so like, you can leverage those early tiny wins to build that momentum and motivation to keep pushing forward. I mean, personally, when I worked on my second game, Overture, like that happened to me. I was like kind of struggling, but then I found that I had a few, core fans that, really motivated me to like, keep at it, keep iterating and keep marketing. And so, that turned into, to like another success story because of just a few people who, kept me going, at the beginning.
Yeah, and those core fans are actually your marketing people as well because they're the one that's going to spread the word of your game. So, yeah, definitely satisfy your core fan. Think short term and long term. Keep measuring your marketing strategies to see if it's working. That's it for today's episode on how often you should be tracking your marketing campaign for results. I'm Tony Chan from Game Dev Loadout.
And I'm Daniel Dunn from Black Shell Media.
This session of Indie Game Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for daily marketing strategies to help you find the fan base your game deserves. Don't forget to rate and review the show so we can bring you more valuable content. Until then, keep pushing forward. We'll see you on the next episode.